Good morning to all our listeners tuned into Hot Topic and Fresh News. Today, on July 13, 2024, we delve into a significant political development. Despite mounting calls for him to step aside, President Joe Biden retains strong backing from many in the Democratic Party. Over 80 Democratic politicians have publicly supported the 81-year-old president as he gears up for his re-election campaign. His recent news conference highlighted his detailed knowledge of foreign policy and his plans for a second term, although a minor gaffe calling his vice president, Kamala Harris, Vice President Trump drew notable media attention. Notwithstanding some criticism, key figures like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Bernie Sanders have endorsed Biden, citing his extensive experience over former President Trump's. Moreover, both the Congressional Hispanic Caucus and the Congressional Black Caucus have expressed their support, underscoring Biden's commitment to civil rights. Meanwhile, Hollywood figures and some Democratic donors show dissent, but Biden's campaign remains robust, powered by strong backing from top donors convinced of his potential victory in key swing states. This story is evolving, and we will continue to provide the latest updates as they come. Hello everyone, and welcome to Hot Topic and Fresh News. This is your host, Emily, coming to you live from New York City.
And I'm David, joining you from San Francisco.
We're thrilled to have you with us today. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to stay updated with the latest news and insights. Straight to the hot topics.
What stands out about the recent rally for Biden in Detroit?
The energy was palpable. An enthusiastic crowd, numbering in the hundreds, rallied around the chant "Don't You Quit," as Biden assured them of his determination to run and win. The use of Tom Petty's "I Won't Back Down" as he exited really underscored his defiance against calls to step aside.
How significant was the turnout and reaction compared to other events?
It's notable because this was one of the most raucous crowds seen in recent years at any event for a U.S. president, signaling strong grassroots support despite the controversies.
And what about his performance at the news conference? There was quite a focus on a particular gaffe.
Yes, the gaffe where he mistakenly referred to Kamala Harris as Vice President Trump did grab headlines, but it's crucial to note that the conference overall showed Biden's deep grasp of issues like NATO and his second-term plans. Over 23 million people tuned in, more than this year's Oscars viewership, indicating significant public interest in his agenda.
How are other prominent Democrats responding to Biden's campaign amidst this criticism?
Support within his party remains strong. Figures like North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper praised Biden's command of foreign policy as extraordinary. Moreover, Governor Gavin Newsom of California expressed unwavering support, stating he was all in and noted that there was no daylight between him and Biden.
There's mention of Biden's knowledge compared to Trump. Could you elaborate on that?
Congressman Brendan Boyle made a striking comparison, stating that Biden knows a million times more about policy than Donald Trump, whom he referred to as the convict conman. This highlights a clear preference for Biden's expertise over Trump's approach within certain segments of the party.
With all these endorsements, what's the broader implication for Biden's campaign?
These endorsements are not just about favoring Biden over Trump, they reflect a strategic calculation by the Democrats. They are betting on Biden's extensive record and political acumen as safer bets for the upcoming elections, especially when the stakes are as high as they are now.
How significant is the support from the Congressional Black Caucus and the Congressional Hispanic Caucus for Biden?
It's highly significant. These endorsements from key minority caucuses, with 40 and 60 members respectively, underscore a solid base of support within the Democratic Party. They see Biden as a protector of civil rights, which resonates strongly with their constituencies.
What do we know about the public's reaction to Biden's candidacy and his recent gaffes?
Despite the gaffes, the latest polls show Biden and Trump are in a dead heat, similar to results before the debate. However, there's a notable sentiment among two-thirds of Americans wanting Biden to step aside. This mixed response highlights the complex dynamics at play as he pushes his campaign forward.
Are there concerns within the party about Biden's impact on candidates in more competitive districts?
Yes, there's a palpable concern among Democrats running in swing districts. They fear Biden's potential negative impact on their own election chances. This has led to a call for the White House to address these worries more aggressively.
And what about the criticism from high-profile individuals like Ashley Judd and George Clooney?
Their outspoken criticism is quite striking. Ashley Judd's call for a robust candidate and George Clooney's damning op-ed reflect a broader dissatisfaction among some influential figures, which could sway public perception and influence the narrative around Biden's campaign.
How is the Biden campaign handling these diverse opinions and the pressures of the upcoming election?
The campaign is touting Biden's long-standing policy initiatives and his commitment to civil, LGBTQ rights, and climate change, which appeal to the progressive left. They're navigating the current political landscape by emphasizing his achievements and the risks posed by a potential Trump presidency, trying to consolidate as much support as possible.
There seems to be a split within the Democratic donor community over support for Biden. Can you talk about the recent developments?
Indeed, there's a split. While Whitney Tilson, a longtime Democratic donor, has withdrawn his support, claiming he's confident Biden will eventually bow out, other major donors are holding their ground. Reports indicate that significant pledges, approximately £69 million, are being withheld by some until Biden decides to exit.
How are other significant donors reacting to this uncertainty?
Some are very steadfast. Shaker Narasimhan, for instance, who's been organizing fundraisers for over 2 decades, remains unshaken. He emphasized the importance of staying focused on the work at hand and supporting Biden's decision, whatever it may be. His rationale is rooted in the belief that the election could be decided by a margin as slim as 50,000 votes in key states like Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin.
What's the stance of other key figures in the Democratic fundraising community?
Frank Islam, a member of the National Finance Committee, is another staunch supporter. He's moving forward with a fundraiser at his Maryland home, expressing absolute confidence in Biden's victory. This shows a division but also a strong faction of support that believes deeply in Biden's potential to win.
How do these financial and public endorsements impact the campaign strategy moving forward?
They're crucial. The campaign must navigate these internal divisions while maximizing the support from its steadfast backers. The strategy likely involves bolstering ground operations in critical states and reinforcing Biden's message to reassure hesitant supporters and donors alike. These dynamics will shape the intensity and focus of the campaign efforts in the coming weeks. Thanks for tuning into Hot Topic and Fresh News today. We delved into the complexities of the current political landscape and the dynamics surrounding President Biden's candidacy. Your presence and engagement mean everything to us. Remember to subscribe and activate notifications so you never miss out on our discussions. Feel free to share our content with your friends and on your social media.
And hey, don't just watch, join the conversation. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, or maybe predict what the next big news break will be. No spoilers though. We're here every day, bringing you the freshest insights.
We appreciate every one of you for joining us and contributing to our community. Looking forward to seeing you next time.
Keep those notifications on because you never know what's around the corner in the news world. It's always something exciting.
Stay in the loop. Keep your eyes on the news, our channel's content will amuse.